What is good, YouTube? Chef Bub from Rooftop Graphics. Today we're going to be going over the Hard to Hate music video I did for East of Mighty. If you didn't already watch the video, I'll drop the link in the description. It's fire. I'm just going to be going over some of the effects I put on it, some of the transitions. I won't be going into too much depth. If you want an in-depth tutorial on like keyframing and everything, let me know in the comments. There's already a million YouTube videos out there on how to keyframe. I ain't going to waste my time making one. But yeah, with that said, let's jump right into it. Alright, so the intro here you can see is... wow, that is bad. Alright, so let me put this in full quality really quick just so you can see it. Here's the intro. If you didn't already watch the video, playback is extremely laggy. I apologize. As you can see here, we got some anime effects. We got a little explosion in the background, comes at the screen. Camera goes out, jumps into the video. So for this intro, what I did is I right-clicked and I replaced this with an After Effects composition. So we got the drone clip on the bottom here, right? I shot this while Dylan and Issa were just shooting some clips. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna use this clip, but it came out kind of fire. So what I did then is with these anime overlays, I just tracked the position. So I tracked this flame here from this factory. You can see all the little points there, and then I just locked it to that position. For the flame effect, what it is it's just I downloaded like a 400 anime effect preset. I used it throughout the entire video. If you want to download that, I'll try to find the link of where I downloaded it. I'll drop that in the description as well. Basically what I did is I just keyframed out the green, made it just a solo flame effect, right? And then scaled it down, and I just pinned it to the flame up there, space it out every however many, and you can see it kind of goes on and off throughout the video. So here we get it back again, and then same exact thing over here for these little smoke effects coming out of the other factory, and then kind of the same thing here for this explosion. So it's another one of them little effect overlays. I got something shooting down into the sky, and then you can see this effect here is this little fireball explosion. And then this one on top of it is the big cloud of smoke. That was pretty much it for After Effects. If you want me to break this down even more on like tracking, keyframing, and everything, let me know in the comments. There's a million videos on it on YouTube. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. But once we were done doing that in After Effects, we brought it back into Premiere Pro. We added this little glitch, camera, whatever you want to call it, effect. Downloaded that from a pack as well. And then we got the title here. Title I made in Photoshop. Pretty simple title, nothing too special. And then underneath it, you can see some more anime effects. Is this clip here. And then underneath that, you can see this just for a brief second. It's kind of like this. It just covers the screen. So that's pretty much it for the intro. It was super simple. It came out super clean. Jumped into the video. We got some more of these little anime overlays. It's like right here, you can see this little spark of the sword. Fire, and then we got some more here. We got some rocks coming up. These are all just the same thing. I keyframed out the green, put it on screen mode so it was a little bit more transparent. It takes out all the dark values, drop the opacity a little bit maybe. Some more sword things. So this one, you can see he moves the sword a lot. So what I had to do for this one, if we go to the effects and controls, you can see I keyframed it. So for each point is a different position. So I kind of just followed the the position of the sword with this effect. And then as it went through, super simple effects, looks super clean. Same thing on this one here as well. That's that. So then for this next one here, this is fire. Cause they trying to kill you. Cause they trying to kill you. So what I did for this one is I took this original clip, and then so I started at the beginning here, and then I went and hit this little export frame. Once you do that, it'll, you can label it, pick where to save it, whatever. And then I hit shift right arrow, went over 5 frames, did it again. I did 7 of those. And then once I had all those pictures, I jumped into Photoshop. You can see here's a PSD for it. So say we got the original picture here. What I did is I went filter gallery, cut out kind of has this cartoon, flattens the image, kind of makes it look like it's drawn, kind of sloppily though. You can see that. You can adjust with the, the settings over here depending on your image. These are the settings I used for it. Actually, I think I went more this way. It just adds like a drawn effect, save me some time so I'm not going to redraw the whole thing, right? So then basically once you do that, you get kind of this. And then I ended up, because I moved him over and whatnot, so I used the healing brush to kind of like, or you can use the clone stamp and select the point and just like color over and erase them, kind of. That way when you bring the effect on, right, makes sense, I hope. So then once we kind of did that, to do this actual effect, what you gotta do is you gotta draw your character. So we got the background here, right, and then we drew over him. I didn't label any of these, which I highly suggest you do. This is a mess because I'll kind of break it down for you, everything in it. So I started with the outline, obviously. Here we kind of get an outline of him. And then for his face, I can't draw anime at all. So what I did is I ended up stealing this picture off Google. Of this character. He's got a beard, it matched, same hair, whatever. So I basically just like traced it. If you line it up, you can see I had traced it almost exactly to get the face, lined up shoulders, whatever. And then once we did that, I just kind of filled it in. I colored underneath it. Right. That's how I draw. A million different ways to draw stuff on Photoshop. Right. You can see we got some shadowing in here. So then basically once I did that, I exported this frame here. So this would be like the first frame. This would be this frame here. Right, and then for the second frame, you can see there's a little bit of change in there. So what I did then for the second frame is I took this group and I duplicated it here. And then you can see the difference there. I just like, with the face, you just adjust it, make it different. You can redraw the whole thing if you want. That's time consuming for me. There's a million different ways to do this effect, but basically just draw out 7, however long it is, different frames. You don't want too much motion because you want it to be smooth, but you want enough motion where you can kind of tell there's motion. So then once you have all 7 frames, kind of drawn out, we'll put this in full. Line them all up. I put them every 5 frames because that's every time it's changed, right? 5 frames there. So these ones on top, what I did is I took the first frame, duplicated it, brought it over, made it 2 frames long, and then I set the opacity here to 50, and then I keyframed it down to 0. And then what that kind of does is if you watch it in slow motion, it kind of adds some blur, right? So you can, when you watch it back in like normal speed, cause they trying to kill you. Right. It has like that motion blur, making it a little bit more realistic, but you still get that cartoon look to it. Super simple effect, looks dope. If you have the patience and you have the time, you could make a whole video out of this. Got all these orange bars up here. These are all just anime effects. I like to color code. My Premiere Pro kind of keeps it a little bit more organized, you could say. So these are all different clips here. So these are all different clips in the same spot type of thing. And then I'll label them. It just makes it easier. Your workflow is a little bit smoother. And what I'll do is I'll take all the clips and I'll line them all up on one point. And then I'll go through and on every beat cut or wherever I think there should be like a transition, I'll go through and I'll hit C on the keyboard to bring up my razor tool. And I'll just clip all of them. And then when you go through, you can just, click and delete whatever clips you don't want. So say you want this clip here. Say you want this clip on this one. You want the on-car shot next. Makes it super simple. That's how I do it. I'm sure there's a million different ways to do it. Workflow is personal preference. So for this effect, what you gotta do is you gotta set up your camera on a tripod. It makes the editing of it a lot easier. You could do it without one, but you're gonna have to rotoscope it. It's a little bit more advanced. This way, you can do it straight in Premiere Pro with like 3 cuts and that's it. So you can see here we got 3 different shots all from the same angle. Right, it was set up on a tripod, so it was still shot, whatever. So start with this first clip on the bottom. And then we're gonna bring in the second clip on top here. And basically what I did to bring him in, kind of how he scans in. So I created this mask, and it's just a box. It's super simple. And then I just keyframed the box from on top of him so that he wasn't there, to the bottom of him so that he was in the frame. If that makes sense. And then on top of it, I added this little, like, whatever it is on the bottom, and then I keyframed that as well to follow like the mask, so it kind of looks like he's like teleporting in. And then same thing for this one here, a little bit different though. So same thing with the little overlay, right? We just keyframed it out. But for this one, then what I did is we added a mask, right? And it's this whole clip here lined up on this post. But like these tripod shots is getting the shadows. So you can see on this shot here, he kind of casts a shadow into the door in some of them. This part he doesn't really, but watch out for that. If you're doing one of these, you know, you can mask out the shadows, you can make it work, but just to like keep it like A1, got the sauce, right? You know, you want to watch for that. So then what we did here is we took this mask and we set a keyframe on mask opacity to 0, which if I bring it up to 100, you can see he's there. 0, he's not. So then we brought it over here, and then once we get to this frame here, it's at 100, so he's fully brought in. If you understand keyframes, you'll understand that this is a super simple effect, right? It's just a mask with some mask opacity on the keyframe. Looks dope. Looks like he's kind of, you know, there's 3 of them at the same time. It's just a sick shot. That's that effect. Another super simple one. This one here.
My whip got tints and I blow trees. I can show you how to fly. Do you want to see?
So you can see the car. It drives in, and then as it drives out, there's a different scene behind him. Clean transition, looks good. So what I did for this clip was like 7 seconds long or something. I only needed to be 2 or 3. So I time remapped it. Basically what I did is I sped up the beginning here. So this section up until like this point here, you can see this flat line is 289% faster. And then once you get down into here, it's slowed down by 50%. And then as he drives away, it speeds back up again. So that kind of makes the clip faster, and it adds like a little bit like, you know, here's slow motion as he's rolling his window down, blowing some smoke. And then we added this anime effect here with the smoke coming out of his mouth. And then you can see, instead of just putting it on top, so if I had this mask here, you can see that it looks like the smoke's coming from the outside of the window then. Not as clean. So what I did is I duplicated the mask. What I did is, if you look at the mask path here, I just masked out the window, and then I turned the opacity down on the window to 80%. So that way only 20% of the actual thing was showing. And then same thing with like the other mask. I keyframed it so that the mask would follow as the window went down. So you can see there. And then what I did is I masked, so this is on the smoke layer. So I masked out the smoke, and I made that section of the smoke not as transparent, if that makes sense. So it kind of looks like it's hidden behind the tint. You know, it adds some depth to the smoke. Just a small detail. You know, it makes a big difference between like, that's corny and that's kind of dope. You know what I mean? And then for the actual transition here, what I did is on the original shot here with the car layer, I masked out like the same type of thing here. So it was a simple like 4 frames. I just did on my Premiere Pro. But basically you're gonna go frame by frame and just adjust these mask points with the pen tool, and you can move them. So I lined it up with the rear of the car as he drove past, and then underneath it you can see here this clip is him sitting on the porch. But you know, you get the gist of it. Basically I just masked out the car, right? Pretty simple. Alright, and then for the last effect I'm gonna show on here is the shot. Kind of, you know, you shoot the screen, you get the anime effect on it. Again, it's the same exact thing. Keyframed out the green, so this original clip here, you can see the exact same thing. I'll try to find a link for this effect overlay if you want to download it. There's like 400 of them, and they're honestly fire. Let me just, I'll give you guys like a preview, kind of just drag through this. You can see all these different effects. If you're trying to do anything anime, you know, like a TikTok effect or something, you just want like a little flash in it or whatever. It's fire, dude. Like, they got everything. And then we added like this, the signature like anime running screen.
Can they know me Piccolo? Used to.
That's pretty much it. Towards the end again here, we got another anime shot. Same exact thing. I took the frames from earlier and I just rearranged them. That is pretty much it for this video. But if you enjoyed this video, you learned something, whatever. If you were even able to like follow it, if you watched the whole thing, honestly, I'm surprised because I'm hard to listen to. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Hard to Hate music video. If you want to watch the full thing, link will be in the description. It'll probably be a first link. If you like this hat, my boy Cal K Bass, and I got him on in the background. If you're into fishing, I don't know if you're watching this video, you're probably not, but that's my boy, so I had to plug him. Yeah, drop a comment. You guys got any other like tutorial ideas? You want me to break anything down, different video? I'm gonna be trying to post more. I'm on like a regular schedule now, kinda. So I'm gonna be trying to do like one video a week, if you guys care. Somehow I got 400 subs on this channel, so I'm gonna try to start posting more. But yeah, with that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Drop a like if you learned something. If you liked the video, Chef Bob out.